which indicated that the country had moved up by 24 points from previous 169th position. Nigeria's Purchasing Managers Index has sustained its expansion for the 19th consecutive month in October. According to the report released today by the Central Bank of Nigeria, both the manufacturing and non-manufacturing PMIs expanded at a faster pace compared with the slower increases recorded last month. The report shows that the manufacturing and non-manufacturing indices rose to 56.8 and 57 for the month each, compared to 56.2 and 57 points recorded in September. The CBN attributes its continued FX liquidity and stability as the key driver of business sentiment for both PMIs and expects the numbers to remain strong throughout the fourth quarter on support from upcoming end-of-year festivities. And elsewhere, indigenous energy trader Forte Oil has released its financial performance result for the period ended September the 30th, 2018, showing mixed performance compared to the same period last year. According to its financial statement released to the Nigerian Stock Exchange, the company's revenue for the period rose by 39.4% to 94.81 billion naira, and this is up from 68.03 million reported in 2017. On the other hand, the company's pre-tax profit fell by nearly 179.2% to 376 billion naira, while net profits dipped by 112.6% to 79 billion naira within the comparative period. More company news. Oando PLC has reported strong top and bottom line performance. That's in its 9-month financial result for the period ended September the 30th, 2018. According to its latest earnings, the energy group's profit after tax grew by 46% to 10.4 billion naira in the first 9 months of 2018, and this is up from 7.1 billion naira recorded in the same period last year. The report also showed that turnover increased by 32% to 505.1 billion naira, and this is compared to 383.5 billion naira recorded in the same period last year. In the 9 months to September the 30th, 2018, gross sale price for oil increased by 45% to $71.42 per barrel, while sale price for natural gas increased by 31%. And as the month of October finally comes to an end, Nigeria's equities market closes midweek trading session with more sell pressure in key blue chip sectors, widening year-to-date losses to 15.1%. Tosi Adesina has a summary of today's transactions at the Nigerian Stock Exchange.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. Wednesday's trading session at the Nigerian Stock Exchange ends the last trading day of October deeper in the red, as massive profit-taking hit 4 major sectors of the market. The all-share index spiraled down by 2.12% below the 33,000 level, while the market capitalization also dipped by 256 billion naira below the 12 trillion naira mark, in reaction to heavy price load shed by major blue chips equities. Out of 30 decliners, the share price of Stanbic, Union Dicon and Dangote Flour recorded the highest percentage drop. That's in contrast to the gains recorded by 15 advances, led by the trio of Airline Service, International Breweries and Regency Alliance. Meanwhile, the total volume of shares traded for the day stands at 212.50 million units in over 3,200 transactions, largely driven by the shares of GT Bank, Zenith Bank and FCMB. That's the Stock Market Report. I'm Tosi Adesina.
Thank you, Tosi. On the other hand, it's a mostly positive close for the month for major global stock markets as Wall Street surges for a second day on the back of strong earnings from General Motors and Facebook. Here are some of the closing figures for the day. And that's business news for tonight. Thank you for watching. I am Kayode Okikolu. It's now back to you, Gimba.
You first. First Bank.
The Minister of State for Petroleum, Dr. Pt.3, has warned that countries that refuse to take advantage of prevailing global oil prices to develop the resource may soon have investors looking elsewhere. Dr. Pt.3, who was hosted to an energy class at the Harvard University, told the graduate students that international investors will only go to climes where they get more derivatives at lower costs of production. According to the minister, Nigeria is bracing up for the challenge of geopolitics of international energy. Our correspondent Olu Phillips reports.
Here in Harvard University, some group of graduate students from different countries are researching world energy with Nigeria as case study. The name of the class is the geopolitics of energy. How did Nigeria fare with a low oil price amidst international energy politics? Are some of the research being sought in this class?
Issues of systemic uncertainties in terms of policies. We dealt with those. We reorganized the national oil company as much as we could. We began the process of dealing with funding constraints that the major oil companies had. We dealt with those, and again, that brought back investment into the system.
Questions and interests were generated around oil resource and development, America's exit as our major crude buyer, OPEC membership, global oil market, China's incursion, but more importantly, what Nigeria is looking to do in terms of renewable energy.
We obviously need to find a policy model that creates enough return on investment for those who are invested. And probably it's a subsidy, some level of subsidy support for solar until it catches on. So almost a 5-year action plan on solar penetration in some of those areas. And then when it's caught on, you can then take away the subsidy, just like what we've done in petroleum products.
The class is already halfway through their semester work, and it appears doubts are being cleared about Nigeria's potentials.
Is a Harvard grad.
Nigerians are absolutely intelligent. I think it was fantastic that he hadn't really prepared a speech and he spoke very eloquently about Nigeria's issues and how he's going to tackle them, such as subsidies, petroleum distribution, and economic stability given shocks in oil prices.
As the former president of OPEC, he was able to bring really unique insights to the classroom to help explain a very volatile period in the market. He was the president of OPEC during the crisis in 2015 and early 2016 when the price went into the 20s for oil. So it was great to hear from them in that respect as well.
Other conversations as regards continental trade agreement is concerned. The minister also said that Nigeria's government isn't opposed to the principle of that free trade, but was not particularly comfortable with the framework that is being presented to Nigeria, that over the next few months that will be ironed out and Nigeria can begin to look in that direction once again. From here in Boston, Harvard University, this is Olu Phillips reporting for Channels Television News.
Still ahead on the news at 10, the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports Development confirms that the 2018 National Sports Festival will be a trial championship for invitation for the 2019 All-Africa Games selection camp. That's on Sports News. Stay with us.